Morning, guys. Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Trainers. Bright and early this morning. I got up at 4:35, trying to beat the heat, but also it's nice and quiet. The dogs are thrown off a little bit because it's a different pattern, but it's about probably 5:36 right now. And I cleaned the gun wheel, so I took all the other dogs out of the kennels. I'm now going to work with him. I've got gravel coming in the next week or so with a new gravel base plate. You get this kennels all redone and on the gravel. I just had a temporary situation coming out here so fast and getting into our new place. Good boy, good. There you go, good. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm trying to set up a ritual. I'm gonna have a lot of these small little videos coming to start and go, because I gotta do 4 hands, right? But in a general sense, what I'll do is I'll start setting up a ritual. So something he gets used to that he can rely on. Now, what I'm doing is I'm dealing with a dog that's obviously been through a few things, okay? Depending on how many places he's been, they get into these rescues and they may get transferred to one, they get homed, and then the dog doesn't work out and they get rehomed. Who knows how many times this dog's only about a year old, right? But he could have been, and then it was a puppy out on the street. Who knows how long he was out there trying to fend for himself, because you can see that his whole attitude is based on not seeing certain pictures. Dogs see pictures, okay? So when I take my hand and I try to offer him food, he growls at me. See how it backs up like that? He'll growl at me. This posture of me trying to reach out to try to give him something or try to catch the dog is probably when this dog was young, he had people trying to catch him, and fear is the overriding factor. He's trying to survive. He's afraid, right? And so they're running away from people, and people are trying to catch the dog, they're trying to do the dog a favor. But reality and truth is that brands in the dog's head. So now he has certain perspectives of what's happened to him on the street, most likely. I'm guessing, of course, but I'm trying to put this together in the behavior of the dog. Remember, he sees in pictures. So if I approach the dog with a certain body profile and I have my hand out, he's going to have a certain attitude. There it goes. He's growling at me right now, right? When I come in with a bowl in my hand and I have a food bowl in my hand, his posture changes. He actually starts trying to climb the bowl and go up on his 2 hind feet high in the air, and he's got his nose hanging over the bowl. He's coming right towards me. So here we go. He has an association with food. The bowl means food, okay? So we've got to find something that works for him that we can start latching a hold of and start building the dog very slowly and methodically through these pictures that he sees to change that perspective in his mind. It's not easy, okay? It's something that may be with him for the rest of his life. I always tell customers when they come to me with a dog with this kind of problems, there is no guarantees. I'm going to do the best job I can. I'm going to try to get into the dog's head, and I'm going to try to figure out where he's at. I'm going to try to give you enough of a baseboard to allow you to, with my help, work on keep developing this dog into becoming a stable animal. Will you overcome this all the way? No. You never will, because these little seeds, these little imprints that are in his head are there from a long standing, right? So right now I'm standing here talking and he hears me, and he hears my voice tone, he's watching and paying attention to everything. Think about that hyper awareness that's caused by fear, okay? Hyper awareness and fear causes a whole different mental aspect in the dog. And that's one of those perspectives that a dog will go to at a young age, especially if they're trying to survive on the street. And that panic and that fear that will brand into that dog's head, and these pictures become very relative to him. Okay, so we have to kind of try to change those or skirt around them so he doesn't have the associations, so his brain doesn't flash and go right back to those same associations that he had before. You have to take your head and go into the perspective of thinking of how a dog feels. I say it many, many times. A dog is an emotional creature, okay? That being the case, training is so much more than heel, sit down, stay, okay? So I get into things like this. I'm not an expert. I don't consider myself an expert. All this comes from learning. Like I'm always talking about, this is a learned behavior from the dogs. Well, this is a learned behavior from me. I started when I was 12 years old. I knew what I wanted to do at a very young age. So I did it by doing and coming at it from a different perspective of a young child that was imprinted by emotions myself. Okay, so I was a lot more able to get into the emotional states of mind of an animal and come from that perspective. Okay, that's why you hear me always talking about voice tone, body language. All these things are so much more important in so many ways to communicate with your animal. And I break it down to animal communication with my animal, right? How he picks up on things and all the science of everything that goes along with it. But it gets pretty deep, right? So here I am talking, and I'm standing here. I'm doing this on purpose. Now he's starting to relax. He's not totally relaxed. Look at his posture. A relaxed dog slouches over, right? He's not relaxed. But we're going to go get my hot dogs I've already got cut up. We're going to have a lot of these short little videos, okay? So I'll just keep posting them to his library, and you'll kind of see his progression, and hopefully we'll get somewhere. There are no guarantees, like I said. So we'll give her hell and see what happens. This is day 3, second morning. He came in the afternoon 2 days ago. So in other words, yeah, it's basically the second morning. All right, talk to you later. Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training, and Dobbie, the mixed Doberman rescue. Talk to you later.